Hello guys. Today I bring you a new computer setup video. This is actually, as you can see, not my usual room. This isn't my usual recording space, but longtime viewers will remember I did, I think, one tour of this room maybe a year or so ago. This is my other house. Divorced parents, so I have two houses. And this is the other one, and I actually have the entire upstairs of the house to myself. This is the other side, but I'm not going to be showing this side because I have a bunch of crap laying around and I need to clean it up. So, yeah, as you can see, there's Doggy sleeping. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be showing this side of the room today. So it's just going to be the computer room, I guess I'll call it. So, yeah, I don't do these tours very often, but yeah, here we go. Lots has changed since the last time you guys saw this place. So, we're going to start over here and we're going to work our way this way. So, basically, as you can see, I have a lot of computers over here. This whole half of the room, or third of the room over here, is dedicated to just my computer collection. And then, of course, we have another one over there, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Right here, I decided to completely, change up the way this works, and I put my PS2 out instead. So yeah, I now have the PS2 Slim sitting right here, and yes, that is a CRT monitor. I just used it because it was appropriate, and it looks like crap on that monitor. So yeah, PS2. Basically, I have it redneck hooked up with an adapter to these speakers for sound. So yeah, there we go. I have a 3-in-1 cable, and it does work. It plays games just fine. Then, of course, down here we have all my games, so you can pause that if you want to look at them, but yeah, that's where I decided to put the games. Down here, a bunch of crap. I'm not going to go through it because it's just a bunch of junk. Moving on, as you can see, this whole side of the room is dedicated to my computer collection. So, we obviously have a few Macs down there. We have a bunch of PCs over here, a couple more Macs. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to actually use the chair so the video isn't as shaky. So down here we obviously have an summer 2000 iMac. It's an iMac G3 basically. It doesn't have an operating system on it because, yeah, I kind of destroyed OS X on it. I still have to reinstall it, so it's basically just sitting there doing nothing. Up here on this little pedestal thing we have the Macintosh SE included with the original manual and the Apple Serial Bus mouse. I actually bought that on eBay. Then I have a keyboard. But yeah, moving on, we have the Macintosh TV, the very rare Macintosh TV. So yeah, this doesn't have an OS either. I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but I haven't tried to get it up and running. I just want to kind of leave it there as a display piece. Down here we have the Compaq Presario C700. I'm not sure if I can get that. Yeah, but anyway, as you can see, I have the glorious Lord and Savior Gabe Newell as my wallpaper. And yeah, basically this is the newest computer that I have over here. Obviously besides my MacBook Pro. It's got a Core 2 Duo, runs Windows 7. It's designed for Vista, but yeah, 2 gigs of RAM. It's not that great of a computer, but it was my dad's old laptop, and I've had it ever since. It works well enough. So there's that. Again, Gaben. Moving on, here are the desktops. Well, there's a laptop obviously, but yeah, the way I set this up is I kind of made it reasonably easy for me to swap peripherals between computers. Because as you can see back here, I have a decent gap, and then I just have all the computers down there, so I can just reach back here and swap the wires around, and then bam, I have a setup right here. So this is kind of a multi-purpose setup. I have a PS2 mouse and keyboard to ensure compatibility with all these old desktops. So yeah, I even have speakers. I have this Dell monitor, so there it is. I have a power strip right here which has everything plugged into it, including all of these computers. Well, except for these. This, that, this, and that are plugged in right now, and then of course I have one for the speakers. It worked out well because I have just enough ports for me to have everything plugged in, so that's cool. As you can see, I'm running the Dell Optiplex GX110 right now, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is the IBM ThinkPad T21, so it's an old laptop. I think I did a video about this thing a while back, but it has a 650 megahertz Pentium 3 and 384 megabytes of RAM. So there it is. Old ThinkPad. It's got wireless, so it is internet connected, but yeah, I don't use it much. Going down here, here is the Dell Optiplex GX110. This was actually one of my very first computers. I've had this since about 2007, so 7-8 years now. So there it is. Down here we have the Dell Optiplex GX260. I'm not sure if that thing has an OS. I haven't used it in a long time, so yeah, not sure. This is my oldest, well, my oldest desktop PC, let's say. It's basically just a custom build, but there are the specs. It has a 200 megahertz Pentium M, or Pentium MMX, sorry. 97 megs of RAM, which is kind of odd. But yeah, it has a 4 gig hard disk and it runs Windows 2000. This is actually my only AT style computer. This thing is quite, oh, just went to screensaver, never mind. But yeah, this is my only AT motherboard style form factor computer. It does work. It's pretty old, but it works. Moving on, we have two desktops. This one was given to me by my friend. That's just a, I think it's an AMD Athlon system. Runs Windows XP, nothing special. And then this is the Dell Dimension E310. This is also nothing special. It's just your Pentium 4 shitbox, basically. This one doesn't have a hard drive or an OS currently, but it works just fine. So yeah, that's my little computer setup. And then of course behind here, I have a piano box, but I have just a couple of spare things. Then of course behind there I have, that black one's a computer, well those are basically just computer cases, there's nothing in them, so yeah. There I have a few keyboards, and then behind there I have a spare 18-inch monitor. That's a monitor, but it obviously doesn't work. It broke a while back, so, and I kind of destroyed it. I helped it along the way. But yeah, there you go, just a couple of spare peripherals back there. So, moving on. So that is my little desktop setup there. This is the Mac setup, I guess I like to call it. I have two Macs on here. I have the PowerBook G4 12-inch, and then I have the iMac G4 17-inch. So there you go. I have, obviously built it and plugged in. So yeah, there you go. They are. This is plugged in. I have the keyboard over here and a wireless mouse right here. So I can go ahead and use this thing if I feel like doing so. In here is computer-related stuff. If you go ahead and open this drawer, I have a bunch of old mice, mostly PS2, and actually most of them are serial mice, so that explains why I don't use them a whole lot. That thing actually requires a serial mouse, so yeah. In here we have some old Sims, again, for that desktop. Actually have a bunch of old Sims single inline memory modules. And I have some old PC 2700 DDR RAM. Got some DDR2 and some DDR. I have an Intel Pentium 3 out of a ThinkPad R51. So it still works, and the pins aren't actually bent, which is good. And there's a Pentium 4. Yeah, I wrote that years ago. Don't worry about it. It's a piece of crap CPU. I have hard drives. This is a 4 gig. This is a 1.6 gig, and that's a 40 gig, all IDE. Again, the heatsink thing out of that R51, and then a spare drive out of a small form factor Optiplex. Floppy drive, Pentium 2. That's about it in here. Yeah, basically just my parts storage. In here we have some old stuff. This is an old video camera, which I actually need to do a video on. Someone requested that. And I have an old Netgear. I believe that's just a wireless G router. Might even be older than that. Then I have an old modem that used to serve our internet connection, but yeah, not so much anymore. Right there we have a Toshiba Satellite Pro laptop that doesn't work. The memory chip failed in it, so it doesn't boot anymore, and it's a proprietary memory chip, so yeah. Over here we have the Dell Inspiron 8100, I think. Yeah. It has a dead hard drive, so other than that it works. Then of course down here we have a bunch of crap. We have a power supply, some cords, well a lot of cords, and then some cards there. So there you go, it's kind of just my junk shelf. So there's that. That is the little Mac portion. And then over here of course you might have saw we have a Power Mac G4 MDD. So yeah, it has a ghetto rigged power supply, which is probably dangerous, so I don't use it, but it does work. Over there we have 2 bags of water bottles. Yes, I drink a lot of water. There we have a garbage can. And then over here is kind of the main setup. This is what I use the most, obviously. So, yeah, moving on, we have some lights. Right there we have a couple motherboards on the wall, which is kind of nice, I guess. Down there we have a bunch of crap on this little, file organizer thing. I'm not going to go through it. I have a flash drive, a knife, and some earbuds there. The MagSafe charger for my MacBook Pro. Here is the desk that I use the most. I actually built this about a year or 2 ago. So, yeah. Here is, obviously the computer I use on a daily basis and take with me. This is the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro. Obviously, it's hooked up to my old Insignia speakers. This used to be at my other place, but once I got my audio system, I brought them over here. So, yeah. Here I have some earpods, water bottle. Here's my iPhone 6, obviously. Moving on, over here we have just a couple of cameras. This actually isn't usually here. I took both of my I took all my video equipment with me, basically, because I'm going to be over here for the next week. I have a flashlight, an old Olympus camera. This is actually the first camera, one of the first cameras that I ever had. Back there we have a bunch of crap inside a mug. The charger for this camera, my car keys, and a stapler, and a little iPhone charging block. Down here we have the subwoofer, a little carpet, and a power strip. And of course there's a bag there. That's not usually there, but yeah, there you go. Moving on to this side of the room. This is kind of just the junk side of the room. This is where I put all the stuff that I couldn't really find a place for. We have down here my computer bag and the camcorder bag, which isn't usually here, like I said, but yeah, there we have a lamp and a photo. Oh, and there's a clock up there. Batteries are probably dead. Right there we have a propane heater that I don't use. Never used since we moved in here, but yeah. There we have a little dart that sticks to anything. Down here we have my tool kit. I got this for my birthday, actually. So I have a lot of tools in here. Screwdrivers, a torque wrench, a couple of vice grip, channel locks, that kind of thing. Allen keys, which I actually just used the other day. Yep, basically. Oh wait, forgot this has to be open. And then in these drawers we have quarter inch, sorry, half-inch drive, some wrenches, and 3/8 inch drive. So there you go. And I obviously have metric and imperial. Basically this is pretty much a full-fledged mechanic tool set, so that's cool. I can work on my car if I so please. So that's cool. And it comes in handy for other stuff like computers and stuff. So yeah. Over here we have the little metal cabinet. This is actually a metal kitchen cabinet from like the 1950s. Used to be right there, but I moved it, obviously. On the top I have a printer. It's an HP PhotoSmart C5180 all in one. I don't use it much, but when I need to print, there it is. It does work. So yeah, there we have some gloves. Right here, obviously, this is full of magazines and stuff, and if I open it, it'll probably explode, so I'm not going to do so. But in here, I have just some auto-related stuff. I have my old brake pads and spark plugs that I replaced. A couple boxes back there. The repair manual for my car, and then there's a general automotive book. And down there we have a little thingy, not sure why that's there. This is the junk drawer, or the junk shelf. I just have a bunch of crap in here that I didn't really want to show, but there it is. And then obviously, NVIDIA sticker, gotta have that. Over here, we have some random crap. We have a little Dell docking station, a guitar, and a piano stand. That's full of junk, not gonna go through it. There we have a speaker, an old speaker. Here's just kind of the pile of junk. I tried to make it look as nice as possible. We have a piano, which I don't really use anymore. We have a microwave, which again I don't really use anymore, but it does work. There we have a smaller piano. There we have a dead vintage amplifier. Right here we have the window fan. I just kind of put that there. I didn't really have any place for it. This is by far the dirtiest, messiest corner of the room. I just have a bunch of crap laying around. Yeah, just a bunch of junk. Towel. There, things of note are this old video camera. Some other random crap over here. A couple printers and a pile of books and crap. Yeah, this is by far the messiest. So, in here, these shelves are pretty hard to open, but basically all three of them just have a bunch of wires and power cords in them. Old Apple keyboard. Here is the secondary setup. We'll get to that in a second. There we have an old Lakewood oil heater, so works just fine. So there you go. That thing's 1500 watts. It'll heat this place up pretty quickly, so I use that when I need to. Here is the secondary setup. So, as you can see, I have the Intel Pentium budget build that I built last year, I think. I don't really use this a whole lot because it's being a little unreliable. I just recently got it back up and running. As you can see, I have my Asus monitor over here now. But anyway, I recently got it back up and running, and this thing likes to just cut out the wireless very often. It has a crappy USB wireless stick, and the USB has always been finicky on this motherboard, so yeah, it likes to disconnect from wireless a lot, so I don't use it that much. But it has an Intel Pentium G2020, 8 gigs of RAM, and an AMD Radeon HD 6670. So, yeah, it's a decent little computer. It's not terrible, but I only use it if I really have to. As you can see up there, we have a Logitech C270 webcam with the faceplate removed. I actually lost that. There we have just a very basic Logitech keyboard, and then we have again, very basic Logitech mouse pad. I don't have speakers for this setup, so I just use earphones, and then we have a Panasonic phone. Down here we have the box of wires. This used to be a lot cleaner, but now it's kind of just crappy. Paper airplane. Down here, a couple of tool boxes here, and some software disks, a bunch of bull crap, more bull crap. So as you can see, I don't really show this room that often, and that is why. Up here we have some books, and then just some random stuff up there. I'm not going to go through it because no one cares. So that should just about cover it. As you can see, we've gone through the whole setup. So yeah, we're at 17.5 minutes. So I'll just give you just a short little pan through again. So yeah, I quite like this new setup. I'm glad I decided to completely redo it because this is actually a lot nicer than it used to be. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you later.